Now, IEBC suffered a major setback in its preparations for the repeat presidential election after angry mobs disrupted its training sessions across Nyanza. Youth stormed training sessions in Bondo, Kisumu and Homa Bay, where returning officers, presiding officers and clerks were being trained ahead of the October 26 repeat polls. The attacks on the training centers come as when NASA said that there will be no polls that will take place, and the electoral agency declined if they declined to have the irreducible minimum demands, which include firing of the IEBC Chief Executive Officer Ezra Chiloba. The training sessions were also postponed in Gem, Rarieda and Ugunja sub-counties.
Destroy those things. Get those things out. Remove this one from here, please. Remove her. Inspector Kamari, you want to see Get out! Get out!
All right, so that basically is just showing us how tense and how high emotions are running in the country as we prepare for the elections in another 6 days. But also going back to Rosalyn Akombe's statement, one of the things she mentioned and quoted that it happened on the 17th is harassment of some of the returning officers as they were being trained. Of course, evidence right there showing us exactly what happened. But let's start with, first of all, is that even legal, given that we even have some leaders in their county governments declaring, and that's even on page 10 of the Standard, declaring war and saying that there is going to be no elections in their region?
Certainly, that action of disrupting public officers in the due execution of their duties, it is criminal. There are criminal and penal provisions in our law that provide that where you obstruct a public officer in the due execution and discharge of their duties, then that is a criminal act. And you are liable to be prosecuted. It's both criminal under the penal laws, and it's also an electoral offense under the Elections Act. That is legally speaking. The concerns by Madam Akombe then were that the staff, especially those staff who have been deployed to areas perceived as opposition strongholds, they raised legitimate questions to headquarters that what are the extra security measures that you have put in place for us in view of the threats and harassment and intimidation that we are facing. Quite sadly so, there was no firm and authoritative response from headquarters. So it was akin to situations like you are being sent out to carry out a duty.
Like to the slaughterhouse.
To the slaughterhouse, but there are no security arrangements to give you that guarantee that you can work without any threat of harm. So that is the difficult situation that those staff are facing there between the sea and the deep blue valleys.
All right.
Yes.
And that story is on page 10 of the Standard. If we can just go to page 10, where we have basically governors or a governor saying that